Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa and this is going to be a very serious video. Look at this on the screen. This is a game I recently took part in. This was a victory, but this was a victory that was so hard won, it was unbelievable. And it wasn't through skill, it wasn't through anything like that, it was through me trying to calm down the team because the team wanted to throw. It was insane. Well, in one of the games, the game in question with this soldier eliminations, you can see, which is extremely high eliminations, this was a King of the Hill map, which went all the way to the wire. So it was 2-all. We actually took a 2-0 lead, and then we lost the third point in a 99-99, and then we lost the next point in a 99-99. So what that means is we were very, very close to actually winning the game. What actually happened in the final game is the healer on our team, or one of the healers, it was a Mercy, and it was a Mercy main, but you know, if you want a main characters, whatever, that's up to you, pick Torbjorn. And I was like, what are you doing? And they were like, there's no chance of winning, the DPS is terrible. And I'm thinking to myself, hang on a minute, the DPS isn't terrible and great. But you know what, I'm sick of all of that. What I'm sick of doing, right, is going into games of competitive and almost having to be a babysitter every single game. Now, I've made multiple videos on this channel, and I've said, guys, you know, be positive to your team. Try and communicate with them, you know, make basic call-outs. And it's great, and that's fine, and you should do that. The thing is, people throw so quickly in this game, it is just ridiculous. So I started to look at the ways in which, or rather the reasons why this is the case. What goes on in Overwatch, and what is causing this massive tidal wave of just children. Well, that's not fair, because when I say children, I don't mean people who are young of age, because people of all kinds of age groups play Overwatch. I mean mentally people who are just stupid and just don't want to play in competitive. The trick is in the name of the mode. Competitive. What that means is you go in and try and play your best, you try and win. But there are a lot of issues with Overwatch, and I'm going to go into detail on them in this video, because it's all very well and good me just going, oh, you know, there's toxic people that play the game, and yeah, there is. There's toxic people that play all manner of competitive games. I used to play League of Legends, and I stopped playing League of Legends because I couldn't be bothered sitting there for 40 minutes plus with a troll on my team throwing the match intentionally. It was so annoying. And Overwatch, well, the same thing is happening. Like, if you get to a 2-all on a King of the Hill map, and then some guy just decides to throw because they can't be bothered to try anymore because they think we've thrown the game because we had a 2-0 lead, well, that's crazy. And I know guys, you watching this video, this is not an isolated case. All of you guys are getting this as well. Anyway, let's look at the reasons why this is the case with Overwatch, right? So you've got 5 other people on your team. You don't know who these people are. You don't know what they're going to do. This is a massive systemic problem with the whole Overwatch solo queue competitive. You do not know who the hell you're going to be matched with. And I tell you something, right? I was having a discussion with one of my friends who plays a ton of League of Legends, and they were saying to me, what do you do, like, you know, when you, like, they don't play, they have never played Overwatch, right, at all. And they said, oh, you know, on Hero Select, do you just, like, leave the game if the team's bad? And I'm like, what do you mean, Hero Select? And then I realised what he was saying. He was talking about, in LoL, you can obviously, when you go into I mean, honestly, I've not played LoL in years, but this is how he explained it to me. You can go, you join a game, right? You can see who's in the game, and you can actually leave at that point, and you won't get a leavers penalty until you actually go into the game. And I'm like, well, no, Overwatch isn't like that. You just go straight into a game, and if you leave, well, then you're just going to suffer the penalty. So you have to play the game. The problem with that is, right, you do not know who the hell is going to be on your team. The games that have been awesome that I've played, yeah. In fact, I played a couple of games today. Some of them were okay before this horrific, like, just terrible session of just, like, trying to be a babysitter. It was just so annoying. Some of them were okay, and the reasons why they were okay is when I look at the team, we had a Winston main, we had an Anna main, we had a Lucio main. Right then, so you know what that means, right? You have there a tank and 2 supports. Then that means everybody else who just pick DPS, basically, that team is awesome because it has a team that works together. But it's by pure luck. It's pure chance. And you know what? I'm getting sick to death of playing this game just for chance. Just sitting there going, oh, you know, I'm going to play competitive, right? Maybe I'm going to get 69 limbs or whatever in this game. I know I'm going to play great, but we're going to lose, and it's going to not feel awesome. Then I'm going to go into the next game, and I'm going to get the same sort of thing again. And I'm thinking to myself, for a start, I know I'm better than this, and I bet a lot of you guys out there are the same, regardless of what hero you're playing. And you are losing games just because you have a troll, a griefer even, or somebody who just, like, refuses to play as a team, or somebody who just throws the game. I have noticed that a lot of games, you can pretty much, you're going to lose the game if you lose the first fight. Now, statistically, I think you have less chance of winning a game if you lose the first fight. But it's not about that, right? Because I don't give a crap about statistics when it comes to the ladder. What I'm talking about is the people on your team think, oh, we've lost, right? It's so bad, we've lost. And generally, those people who start talking like that are people who want to play heroes somebody else has selected on your team. So they get really angry and they throw the game straight away. And I'm getting to the point now, guys, where I don't play... competitive was by far my most played game mode. It's not anymore. It is absolutely not anymore. I play quick play more than anything right now. I play 3v3. I really enjoy 3v3. I think that's great. I like Total Mayhem as well in the arcade when that was in the arcade. And I have been joining some, not competitive, some custom games as well. But the majority of my time has been within quick play. And you know why that is? Because Overwatch is a very special game. It's a very fun game. You can go in there and you can play the game and you can have an awesome experience. You guys have probably noticed that a ton of footage on my channel has been... Well, I think it is pretty much since Season 5 began, pretty much all of it has been quick play footage. And the reason for that is I'm playing competitive and I've got 2 accounts active right now. I've got one that's at 3.7 and I've got one that's at, it's just over 4K. It was at 4.2, but it's fell down a little bit. The footage from those games is pretty much, it's borderline unusable because there is always some sort of toxicity, some sort of like... angry behavior, and it's like, it's crazy because I've got a policy which, you know what, I'm getting to the point where I just should think, whatever, I'm just going to use this footage because everybody knows what it is like, but my policy is not to put people's names out there and go, look at this guy, you know, he's so bad, he's a thrower, or this guy's being racist in the chat, because if I make a video and it gets hundreds of thousands of views and that guy's name's on there, he might just be some idiot who just thinks it's funny to say stupid stuff, and then he'll, like a witch hunt could potentially start against him, and I don't want to do that. The fact is, though, this is happening in every single goddamn game. So when we go back to looking at the problems with this game, the big issue I've got right now with this game is the fact that we have a solo queue, which is a complete lottery. It is an absolute lottery. It's took 5 seasons for me to get to the point where I'm like, I'd rather play quick play, but I really don't want to, I want to play competitive. I want to test myself, right? But I feel like I'm not testing anything when I go into competitive because I'm just going in there hoping that, yes, I know I can play Reinhardt to the level I'm playing at, right? I can play Soldier, I can play Tracer, I can play Anna, right? Those are my hero pool. So I know I can be flexible. And I'm not going to pick a Junkrat. I'm not going to pick something random because I'm in competitive, right? I want to win. I go into the game and then I see Junkrat only is in the team, and I'm like, oh no. So he just picks Junkrat, and we're on attack on a map that really doesn't work with the Junkrat, let's say, because I know, like, I'm a full believer of, yeah, play whatever you like, guys, but when you are playing it at a very high level and you are like trying to win, you have to build a team. And that's most of the problem with Overwatch. People are just not willing to build teams. So the other thing is the idea of being a carry. Now, I have played the most played FPS I have ever played is CS Source, right? I played CS 1.6 and then I moved to Source because my friends moved to it, and I played an absolute ton of that. I used to play on a server all of the time. I was involved in a clan. I played in clan like tournaments and all kinds of stuff, right? On the server I was on, there was over 90,000 players registered on that server, and I was the second best player on that server. I was good, right? And I knew I was good at that game because FPS games are my favorite genre of games. But with that, you could absolutely clutch. You could come out and just be like, boom, I'm going to kill all of the enemy team, right? I remember loads of moments like on Office, right? I remember, if you guys haven't played Counter-Strike, let me just kind of build the scene for you. So, on Office, the idea is to, if you're the terrorists, is to stop the counter-terrorists from coming in and rescuing the hostages. And there was loads of times on that map where I would be the only terrorist left against 3 or even 4 counter-terrorists, and I'd kill them all. And it would feel so damn good because it is a straight skill matchup. Overwatch is not that, and it never will be that, because that is the type of game that Overwatch is. It is a team-based game where we go in and we absolutely attack as a unit, and we try and use all of our abilities, right? And there are things in this game like barriers. If Winston drops his bubble down, I play an absolute metric ton of Soldier, because Soldier's like the assault rifles from Counter-Strike. It's like the AK, isn't he, of Overwatch, and a barrier is going to stop you doing damage. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to pop heads because, no, Winston's pressed a button and put a barrier in your face. But that's Overwatch, and that's what makes it fun. The thing is, though, what this means is you can't have an amazing player on the team. I'm not saying, like, guys, I'm not saying I'm an amazing player, so don't be like, oh god, Stylo thinks he's amazing. I don't think I'm amazing. What I'm saying is, even if you have a great player on your team and they play really, really, really well, your team can still lose because one person on your team is just not trying, right? Or isn't really doing anything, or is really performing quite bad. See, I think the key to Overwatch is you need a team that works well together. If you've got that, you will win loads of games. There are people out there who play this game who I think are not very good at Overwatch, yet they are very high in the rankings. Why is that? It's probably because they play in groups of 2 or 3 pretty much consistently, and so they're minimizing the chances that they're coming across people who are not willing to work as a team. All of my experience this season, and I don't know how many games I've played. I think I've played like, well, it'd be hundreds of games that I've played, and all of it has been solo queue. At no point have I joined anybody for a duo queue or a triple queue or anything like that. So I'm just going in, and I am literally, like, I play Warhammer, right? So I've got loads of dice. I am literally just rolling dice across the table and going like, oh, maybe I'll get not 5 DPS mains on my team. And then when I go into the match, I look and it's like, oh, we've got 3 Genji mains, and these guys have got hundreds of hours on Genji, and I'm like, well then, I guess we lose this game then, because the first one of them will insta-lock Genji, obviously, and the other 2 will just be like, can I play Genji? And I'll be like, no. So then I'll just pick a hero that they can't play. And the problem with that is, if the enemy team has a team which all of the players are mains of heroes that fit together and build a team, you will get steamrolled. And that is the final thing I want to end this video on. Overwatch right now in competitive, you either annihilate the enemy or the enemy annihilates you. There is no middle ground. It's not like, oh, that was a great game. Maybe 1 in 100 games are like, wow, that was really close, that was pretty good. I reckon in Season 3 and even in Season 2, it was pretty damn good. In fact, Season 1 was okay as well. Games will be really close now. But now, it's just like, okay, we're going to go into a game. I know if I'm going to win the game straight away in Hero Select, because when I see the team get built, I'm like, okay. I look at their profiles of the teammates on my team, and I'm like, all right, awesome. We've got a team here. I look at the enemy, and I notice they've got 3 or 2 Mercy mains, or they've got 3 Winston mains, or 2 or something crazy like that. They've lost. They have absolutely got no chance, because one of their players is going to have to play a hero they cannot play. So what the hell do I want? Well, Jeff spoke about 6v6 limited elimination competitive. I would play that. And do you know why I would play that? Because that is forcing a pick and ban system through actually not really forcing a pick and ban system. You're self-forcing that onto yourself. So it's going to force you to play different heroes. That, to me, would be a really great competitive mode to play right now. And I play a lot of that, right? Instead of going into the traditional competitive, which is just a complete, absolute gamble. But what I really want to see is, I think we need like a role select, and I've spoke about this before, but you cannot be expected to queue and just blindly hope you're going to get people who will build a team. It is so goddamn random, and it's honestly, it's making me like not fall out of love with the game, but it's making me fall out of love with competitive. I still play competitive, but like I said, I play quick play more. Guys, I'm Stylosa and this is Unit Lost, and I don't really know how to fix this, and this might have been a bit of a ranty video, but it's a raw video and it's a real video. This is like, I play Overwatch. This might sound sad, but Overwatch is my life. I play this game all the time. I make videos on this game all the time. I constantly read news on this game, developer updates, patch notes, everything. I'm very active in the community. I know a lot of stuff that's going on, and it just is really frustrating to me, and I think I just needed to get this off my chest. Guys, I've been Stylosa and this is Unit Lost. Hopefully this gets improved with, you know, they're supposed to be upgrading the report system and the way people get punished. That might help a little bit. But yeah, I think there is a ton of work to be done. And let's not forget the whole fact that you're not rated on the players you're playing against in your game, but you're rated on people who are playing your hero across not every skill tier, but across your skill tier, which is really rather strange when you think about it. Anyway, guys, I've been Stylosa, this is Unit Lost, and yeah, I'm going to go and lie down for a bit. I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.